Hello everyone, this is just a dad. Today I'm going to be doing the 3-month real world test on the Narwal Freo Z. I've been using this upstairs for 3 months steady, cleaning my house for 3 months. We're going to go through and do all the maintenance, replace the mop pads and the dustbin. But first, Miss Fiona is standing waiting for her treat. Okay, so I got a lot to say about this. I've kind of neglected it. I've been only using it for 3 months and I haven't really done a whole lot, but I did have to do a couple things and I'm going to show you some of the faults I had. Overall, I'm very pleased with it, but this thing is extremely dirty. So let's take a look. I got the dirty water tank and the clean water tank out already. Now you're going to see the clean water tank does have a filter in the bottom. There's a foam filter right there. You may have to clean that. I haven't had to clean mine, but you just pull that out and clean it and it sits right there. I haven't had to do anything to the clean water tank. Now the dirty water tank does get stinky, but not as stinky as some others. So you'll get used to emptying this a lot because the Narwal Freo Z uses a lot of water. There's a lot of times there'll be sediment down in there, but we do need to clean this out once in a while. Just get some of this sprayed on, spray it all around, get some hot water, get a brush, and you'll see that there's like a scum that's on the side walls. So you'll want to clean this, but you want to clean this about every 2 weeks or you'll get a really bad odor. Now I do have some Narwal mop pads I'll be using. I've got the Narwal dust bag and I also got some generic ones. We'll be testing those out, seeing how they work also, because Narwal products do tend to be on the expensive side. So we're done up here. Now I'm doing this up here for demonstration purposes. You'll be doing this on the floor. You can just pull the robot out or you can go up here and hit the home button, just small tap, and the robot will come out and stop right here, I hope. And that way you can do your maintenance on it now. There.
Exit completed.
So I do want to turn it off. Press and hold that button. Takes a little bit.
Powering off.
All right, when you hear that, it's going to power off. So it cleaned 73 days. I had this 3 months of doing 3 to 4 times a week, 76 tasks, 93 hours. You get lots of information, every week. I don't necessarily look at all of this information all the time. This is kind of interesting. You get the Freo, how many repeated mopping and dirt sense events you got. And then the cruise. I did start the cruise. I set some points around my house and it takes pictures. You got to be more, the pictures are just okay, but you do get a report and you can save those to your album. But here's everything. It did get stuck. The main thing I saw was the water tanks. So the main thing I ran into was the water tanks would just go empty or the dirty one would be full and then it would sit there and it wouldn't do its event. I had 2 problems with it. One was when it was auto emptying the dust bin. This dust, whenever it would come back, it doesn't do it at the end of the job. It does it at the beginning of the next job. It would start to suck everything out of here and then it would stop and say, oh, dustbin lid not installed. It would like suck a little bit out and then stop. And I had to troubleshoot that quite a bit. And it ended up being the filter bag. And I didn't get anywhere near the time. We're going to go through the times. All of this stuff, in my opinion, needs to be cleaned and changed more often than they're recommending. And that's the main problem. This thing is full. So what I did is I just kind of took the bag out and kind of made more room in here because I didn't have any bags yet. There's definitely more room in there. And then I had to clean the filter. This filter was extremely dirty. There is no time frame on this filter. It just says clean it every 2 weeks. There's no reminder, which I kind of find that I would like to have a reminder on that. But anyway, that was the one problem that kind of I had for about 2 weeks till finally I just took the time and tried to fix it, and I was able to fix it. The other one was a time zone thing. I'm not sure why, but it keeps telling me the robot's not in the same time zone. Other than that, it did get stuck a couple times up in my house in some areas. It's not foolproof. It did run over a shoe and got the shoelace caught up in there. Overall, this thing did about a 90% job of cleaning, of returning back to the dock, maybe 90 to 95%. Now we are going to be cutting this open. But what's real, I probably should have cleaned this down here. So let's talk about the base, then we're gonna do the robot. Now I probably should have cleaned this a lot. This is really bad. You wanna grab it and pull it out. Wow, this thing's extremely dirty. I went 3 months without cleaning it. You can see it does recommend for you to clean it every, I think, couple weeks, but you know, this is a real world test. Now, again, this thing did clean my house a bunch. You can see just how dirty it is. But the nice thing about this tray, we can just take this to the sink and get this all nice and clean. We can see it does trap some hairs. There's some filters here. It does a really good job, other than just, you know, it's extremely dirty and I didn't clean it for very long. There's where it's gonna suck the dirty water out. Let's see if anything else down here needs clean. So, oh, not really. I'll wipe that down a little bit. We can see this is okay. There's where it auto empties. Everything else looks good right here. So that's all the maintenance I'm gonna do down here. And again, just get you some of this Dawn spray dish. Let everything soak for just a little bit. And then I just got this brush. This is like for cleaning water bottles. It cleans super easy. So that's the nice thing. And then I'll kind of dry it off. But this is all designed to be cleaned very easily. There's no electrical parts here or nothing, you know, and the bottom doesn't get dirty at all. So let's get the tray. Again, I like how easy everything cleans. And the bottom of this does get a little dirty. Like an O-ring there. So I got quite a bit of cleaning on this. I probably should have kept up on this a little bit. Looks like that wants to come out. I want to make sure and push that in. I don't want that to come out. I'll have to work on that. I could take those out and put them back in, but these little holes here is probably the hardest part. Now, I forgot to mention, I did flip it over. I did take this part off that goes up to the bag. I thought maybe I had a blockage and that's why, but I did not have a blockage. I think it was just the bag needed cleaned. So I've got this clean, but now I can see where the dirtiest parts underneath. I will have to take those off. I'm not going to do it right now. So I'm going to hurry. And getting these back on is a little tricky, looks like. I don't know if I need a little screwdriver. All right. These are a little, I can take that all the way off, but getting it back on is a little tricky. Because you definitely want this back to the way it was. There. There, I think it's in. I would like that to be a little easier. There. There's like two little ears you got to get across. Now it's flush. So if you do take that off, that's going to be a little bit more work. Now again, I did buy this with my own money, and I wasn't paid for this video. This is my honest review. I absolutely love it for mopping. It's not the best vacuum, but for mopping, you can't beat it. Whoops, there's some plastic that was left over. I'm just doing a close-up here. These things, that must be where the water comes out. They don't seem too dirty. I mean, they actually are a little dirty. I'm not sure how you would clean those. I tried, I couldn't get them off, but you can take a towel and wipe them off. Be careful, you don't want to break anything back there. Now, I don't have the hard floor, the deep cleaner solution that goes here. That's extra. How much solution? Okay, there's probably about that much left. I got quite a bit more solution left. Okay, let's get the bag. Okay, so everybody put a dust mask on. It's gonna be dusty, but I am gonna cut it open. The dust bag seems very well made. You just pull this little thing and that's gonna, you know, you're just gonna throw this away. That thing is full. All right, and then I'll slide another one on there. There is a micro switch down in there. Yeah, now to say robot vacuum cleaners don't work is not true. They do work. Now, do they replace an upright vacuum cleaner? You know, probably not. This is really thick. I like that it's thick. That means it's gonna keep the dust and everything in. This is the world famous Just a Dad cutting the vacuum cleaner bag open. Ooh, It is a mess. But this is what I love to see. This is the satisfying part. Wow. Okay. We've got lots and lots. Again, I did have to kind of shake this down because it was kind of doing, you know, wasn't working quite right. Look at the hair. Look at the cereal, the chunks. The amount of hair is unbelievable. I didn't think the vacuum part was working that well. Now, wow, that is absolutely amazing how much hair is in here. Wrappers, confetti. Wow, look at all that. There's the big stuff from the testing that I did with it. But this was all daily, not daily, but 3 times a week cleaning my house. And it captures the dust. Looks like this is really thick. This is another layer, so 3 layers. This dust is not going to escape the bag, but wow, did this thing do a good job. Now, I'll put links to these dust bags. This is the expensive Narwal one. This is the cheaper one. I'll put a link to it. It's got some China name. I forget what it is, but you know, is there a difference? Let's just go through it. The bag maybe is not as thick. Maybe. Maybe. It's super hard to tell. You know, you're going to slide this in. It's going to be like that. You're going to slide this in. Yeah, this is thinner. I can tell. It's a little thinner. You know, I'm not sure exactly. It looks like maybe just 2 layers. But you can save some money. I think it'll be okay. Yeah, everything looks to be the same. It's got the little lever you pull out. Little lever. Yeah, this is the official one. It definitely is thicker. So let's go ahead and put it in. I'll put the good one in. Yeah, maybe I should. Let's try the, I can always put the good one in later. Let's put the generic in. All right, I gotta use 2 hands. It's not, I don't know. Let's try the OEM one first. Okay, I thought it was sticking out too far, but it's not. I was expecting that to go flush. So push this down. This is the generic one. Push it in. Yeah, there it kind of clicks. It's a little bit harder. The bag's gonna go in there like this. Now we're done with the base station. I can put the cover on and it's ready to go. Okay, let's switch gears. Let's go over to the robot now. Now be careful, these sensors, this is just a lint free. This is not wet, it's dry. You're just gonna wipe the dust off of these. Make sure the bumper is still free. Sometimes a popcorn kernel seed can get down in there. We're not gonna touch the LiDAR, but make sure there's like nothing down in there. You could lightly blow a little bit air, very, very minor air. Make sure this is wiped off. It tells me you get extra ones of these. I don't notice that this works the best. I mean, has it been dusting a little bit? I would like for it to go a little closer and like scrub a little harder, but you can, those are easy to replace. Here we are getting a little bit of dirt here. Those are okay. These are the charging points. Oh yeah, this doesn't fill the robot up. I forget all the time. This does not have an onboard water tank. It is so hard to keep track of these things. There's an edge sensor. Now this thing does do a really good job of mopping, but it does use a lot of water. All right, so this is all good. Now we're gonna flip it over. Now I do recommend getting like this pad here for when you sit on it to protect that LiDAR. Now we've got some things. This is a carpet sensor here. We do not want to damage that. We just got a little brush. I'm not gonna poke, I'm just gonna slightly, just with a couple bristles, just kind of just wipe it a little bit, nothing much. These, again, these are the fall off sensors. These are little glass windows. The side brushes, these will just pop on and off. Okay, I mean, it's a good idea to take them off. There's that TikTok video where somebody puts these in boiling water and they go back straight. I need to try that. It looked really cool. It's not time to replace these, and these are doing really good. Except they do get a little stuff around them. Okay, let's do the brush roller and then we'll do the mop pads. All right, we're gonna have to clean this. We can see there's some grime on here. All right. I did not get any hair tangle. Okay, I've not cleaned this. Well, I have taken it out a few times, like a shoelace got caught in there one time. There was like a big piece of, this thing will pick up big chunks of trash. And then it's really noisy. It picked up a couple, Christmas tree hooks, ornament hooks. So this is in really good shape. I can clean this. I'm going to clean this, but you're going to want to let it dry overnight. That dirt it's pretty big buildup. So you definitely want to wash this. Now down in here, I don't want to get water down in here, but I do have to kind of clean this a little bit. We can see, I don't know what that is. It's nothing to help get it out, but there, that opening's clean. All right, now let's get to the mop pads. I wish I would have cleaned these sooner. I did notice the mop pads, you just pull straight up. The whole assembly comes off. These got super flat, and the mopping was just, in my opinion, was degraded. See how, ooh, I should have replaced these. Now the app says it's not time to replace these, but these definitely need to replace. These were the OEM ones. I should have put them in the laundry. Maybe that would have refluffed them. So what wears is this outer edge. This is the brand new one from Narwal. Again, these are expensive. I will put links to them in the show description notes. They're called silver antibacterial. But we can see this, and that's kind of like a ridge. It's definitely thicker right here. So that's the wear right there. Huh, I didn't think it was going to be that bad. That is all worn away. That's a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, it's definitely scrubbing hard. Now, these things, they're okay. Again, this does not, there's no water tank. It doesn't put water down on them. So these things, I could wipe these off if I had to. They did okay. New mop pads, I gotta put the new mop pads on. And they're just this triangle, just fit them on there. Yeah, this thing's gonna do a good job mopping now. So that's one thing. That went 3 months, and I should have, after a month and a half, I should have replaced them or at least thrown them in the laundry. But this is the real world torture test. I want these things to go as long as they can. And none of them go as long as what the app recommends. Okay, this Freo's free. There's nothing wrapped around here. You might have, there's really no cleaning these, but you could get that little brush. Again, just lightly brush. We want to clean this now. Yeah, I should have done the dustbin first, but I just got this wet. If you scrub hard and don't break anything, don't press down too hard, but if you scrub, we can get some of this grime off. Maybe. You are going to have to do this maintenance. I love these robots. But it does get quite a bit of stuff down there. I wonder if this comes out. It doesn't talk about taking this out, but it looks like it should. You definitely have to keep up on the maintenance. Again, this is 3 months, so you could go as long as 3 months, but I would not. I was regretting going this long. I wish I'd have gone sooner, but I like these tests. And again, you cannot beat the mopping, but it uses so much water. All right, I'm gonna have to make sure and let this dry, but there is quite a bit of dirt on these brush rollers. Get you that same brush. Oh yeah. Look at all that dirt coming off of there. This is really gonna work good now. And I don't have any rips or tears. Eventually you will have to replace this, but no, not right now. That's gonna get wet. We wanna make sure we could blow that out, but we wanna make sure this is nice and dry before we put it back in the robot. But we've got it nice and clean now. So if you watch my videos, you'll know I got this little air gun. I'll put a link to it in the show description. It uses DeWalt 20-volt batteries, but it just helps with the drying process. If you're in a hurry, this thing works really well. All right, so we got this. We could do a little bit more, but you want to be really careful. That's a membrane. We don't want to damage that. That would really ruin the robot. And about forgot about the door. There's nothing electrical on here, so you can get this all nice and clean. But we want to make sure it's dry also. The best way for these parts to dry is in the sun. But on a winter day, you may have to just put them inside and put them on a, you know, by the window or something. All right. And again, there are some crevices that you want to make sure and get it nice and dry. So yeah, that's okay. That wiper, we definitely, there's these little sponges right here. Now, just for purposes of video, I'm going to be reassembling everything now. This will only go one way. There's an arrow. The arrow goes down. Nope, the arrow goes up. Yeah, the arrows go up. And then slide it down into that little groove right there. Yeah, now down. That'll make facilitating this super easy. These little ears go in the front. And push it down. It should lift up and down, and it should click into place. Now, I did notice there was some stuff underneath the bumper. I don't know how it gets there, but up in this cavity here, if you hear stuff rolling around, I had this little rock piece. You know, I had some things, so you may have to kind of shake it a little bit. Now let's do the dust bin. I should have done this first. All right, there's a lot going on here. Let's just take a look. Yeah, this is all clean. There's nothing there. There's that little membrane. Again, be careful with that little membrane. Now, there's a lot going on with this dust bin. They've got this technology where they want you to replace this bin. I think they're just thinking, I got a lot to say about this. I don't know what to think about this. But anyway, this is the filter. Now, this thing gets extremely dirty, and you definitely should clean this every month at least, but every 2 weeks. And what you can do is, you know, take it outside, tap it. That's really, really fine dust. You can wash it with water. I mean, get all the heavy dust off first. You can blow it with this and then washing it, but make sure it dries. This is a good one to have an extra one of, so that you can, because this might take a couple days to dry. If it's in the sun in summertime, one day will do it. Now we're going to take this over and clean this. I do have there's a trap door here, so, and again, these don't auto empty at the end of the job. So even though we're seeing some stuff in here, that's because that's from the last job. Before it starts its new job is when it auto empties. Now, I don't notice, I mean, it did suck up a little bit of wetness, and I don't really know why you'd have to replace these. These don't seem that dirty, and like maybe I could clean it. I'm not on board with this. I would normally like just have a dustbin, and then I can just clean the whole dustbin and change the filter, and then I'm good. But they've got this little thing here, which seems to me takes up a lot of space. But I know there's some reason behind it for, they're afraid that if this stuff gets wet, it's going to mold or something. I don't know. But I never had a problem with the other way. Now, there's nothing electronic in here, so we can get this wet. Again, they want you to replace these bins, but I don't, man, it cleans up really good. Again, I don't understand this part. This is all real easy to clean, but there's going to be lots of crevices that water's going to stay in. So again, just set this outside for a day, or if you can't, at least set it inside by the window to let it dry, because there's just lots of places for water to hide, and you don't want that water to get into your machine. Now, if you're like me and you're in a hurry, sometimes you can get these. Water is in a lot of areas, so. And then blow this out. There is a little screen here. We want this all nice and dry. I did take the filter outside, and after I tapped it, I blew it. Again, I had to clean this. I did have to clean this after about 2 months because of that air. It kept saying the dust bin bag, or the dust bin lid is not installed. I kept getting that air, and it would still vacuum and work. It just kept giving me that error. Okay, once this dries in, this is not dry, by the way, you simply just set the filter in there. It can go either way. It's nice and flush. Make sure you got the seal. And then you always have to make sure this bin is installed. And again, they want you to, I'll show you in the app, they want you to replace that every so often. You just sit it in, make sure it snaps in right there. Nothing going on with this. This is nice and clean. Now you can turn the robot on because we can't do anything with the app until the robot is on. So turn the robot on. Again, you're going to do this on the ground, or you would just dock it. And when you docked it, it automatically turns the robot on. All right, let's take a look at the app. All right, I've learned a lot about the app. So let's go into, again, there's the history. Let's go to the maintenance. One thing that I would probably do different, is it the Freo Mind? The remopping limit. I had that on smart. This thing will go back and remop an area 4 or 5 times, and that will use an extremely a lot of water. But my floors have been squeaky clean because of this. I've never had a robot that has cleaned my floors upstairs to where they're squeaky clean. So I might limit that. That would help save some water. I did. And then the humidity mopping level, it hasn't done anything with that. So let's go the base station. There's really nothing there I would change. Manage accessories. And I just want to show you, I do have the latest device update. The firmware. I have the latest firmware version. It did update itself once or twice, I think. I didn't notice anything too drastic. So manage accessories. There's that insert bin. They want you to replace it every 3 months. I didn't need to replace it. I'm going to reset it. And again, you have to have the robot on to do all of this. Reset successful. Dustbin filter. I wish they'd give us a reminder with this, but they don't. It's every 2 weeks. I wish there was a reminder. But anyway, these did not make any 134 hours. That they did not come even close. And I went 3 months, 150 hours. I must have reset that because I've got more than 100. That says I only had 20 hours on it. In history, I've got 93 hours on it. So I must have reset it and I didn't know it. Sometimes you get those little pop-ups, the little Freo, and you'll just hit it. Maybe I did that. Okay, let's go back. Manage accessories, but it still wouldn't have made the 150 hours. Side brushes, yeah, they got some time left. We're not going to reset that. The zero tangle brush, every 200, what did it say? Every 235 hours till replacement. I think the dust bag, maybe another 18 days, but I did have that problem, so I would, I'm definitely going to change that out. Probably a little bit more often. 90 days. Cleaning tray, every 2 weeks to 1 month. Disinfection detergent. It's not going to tell you when the detergent's out. Floor, I don't have the floor maintainer. I don't have the heavy detergent. Those are add-ons. There's that baseboard rag. It did okay. Sensors, we wiped the sensors down. It doesn't give me a reminder to reset. Casters, or there's the sponge filters inside the water tanks. Okay, there's everything that's done. Some things I noticed, the sequence that you clean the rooms is a little hidden. I think it was here. Yeah, there it is. I was having a hard time finding it. I did want it to clean in a certain order, and I couldn't find it, but I just found it now. Wash mop by area. That will help save water. You're going to notice this thing just uses a ton of water. Now, the map editing, I had the hardest time. I was not able to divide this room up properly. There's a little bit of a glitch. It doesn't let you go. So I had to kind of play around with it. It took me a long time just to get the rooms to look like this. But there's a hallway here, And when I tried to connect this room with those 2 hallways, it just did not like it. So I had to put this little angle in, and it was just awful. Other than that, it worked. Power boost, I just kind of let it did its own thing. But the biggest thing, put it on a schedule. Here's my schedule. Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So you can pick what rooms it does. I had it doing something almost every day. Certain rooms on certain days. That's what's so nice. So again, this is my 3-month real world testing. I love it. It's the best mopping one. Now I've got quite a few more I'm going to be reviewing. I just got the brand new Shark, the white one. I've got the black one, but there's been so much hype over this white one that I had to get it. Just got the Roborock Q-Revo Edge. I got some Legos for doing testing. I got the Dream L10S Gen 2. That's why I dug out. I had to buy another one actually. That's the Dream L10S, the original model. I gave my other one to my mother-in-law, and she just absolutely loves it. So I went and bought one. I think this was used off Amazon for like $300 or something. So I will be testing the Gen 2 against the Gen 1. Got the X40 out. So who's going to go upstairs? I think the X40, the Dream, that thing was an amazing sale for $1,000. The Dream X40. I got the X50 coming. That's the L40. That's an amazing one. These are just okay. I'll probably be sending that one back. I'll be taking the Roborock Curve. Now, I'm going to be taking this one upstairs. I absolutely love it, but I got to do a lot more. I got to do real world testing on it. But I got to also compare it to this Edge. It's going to be similar to this Edge. And why the Curve has been out of stock so often. This thing must have sold like hotcakes, but I haven't seen it come back in stock, and that's disappointing because that's an amazing robot that looks awesome. They would have sold a bunch more. So I'll put links to all this in the show description. Bought it with my own money. I do love it. It got stuck once in a while. It got stuck. For the most part, it did make it back home, but nothing mops. The mopping pattern is not real. It's doing its own thing. Like, it's not just back and forth, and you're like, oh, I know exactly what it did. This thing will go. It'll mop a little area, then it'll go over here and mop a little area, and then it'll vacuum over here, and then it will do the whole room. And it's really weird how it does it, but it does do a good job. It is an extremely good mopping one. Vacuuming, I mean, it's hard to say it didn't vacuum. It just didn't feel like it was vacuuming that much because, and again, this thing auto empties at the end of the job, which is a little weird. And then you'll notice also when it goes in and cleans your room or cleans the house, there's another fan that kicks on to dry the bag. And it's not noisy, but you'll notice that thing being on. So get used to changing water. Now I'm probably gonna buy the water module because I got my new studio coming, my robot vacuum cleaner studio, and I've got water hookups there. Somewhere you can hook up a water. I don't know how, it's an add-on to this, but this would be an amazing robot. If it fills itself up with water and auto empties the dirty water, this is what that needs. Because man, this just got really old, emptying and filling these tanks all the time. As you'll see down here, the Dream, this is my X40, which I love. It doesn't have water tanks. It's got tubes. And if you follow the tubes, they go into a drain line. So this thing empties itself. I'm gonna be doing a lot more testing with these. And the water line is just a simple ice maker hookup. That's the water line to hook it up. And I've been doing a lot of testing on the $300 robots that some mop, some don't, but the ones that vacuum, I got lots of videos on these. So for ones that just want to vacuum your house. So I've taken about 6 weeks off of making videos. Right before I tried to get the best ofs out. So, cause man, the sales were amazing for Black Friday that ran all the way almost to Christmas. They were absolutely amazing. Then they went away. The Q-Revo S was like $450, but the biggest sale, the one I recommended the most was the Dream L10S. That thing was $400. That was an amazing, I think it's a really good, just a great price. No one can beat that for its capability. Now, it's not as good as the Narwal Freo Z, but this one's like $1,200 or something. So I've got some exciting news. The robot vacuum cleaner studio is coming along. That's what I've been doing. things have just taken a lot longer there than I originally anticipated. So we had a little trouble with one of the contractors, and now he's not able to do as much. And so I've been trying to do as much as I can over there. I've been working over there 3 weeks now steady. So I haven't made any videos for like a month and a half. And this was my first one. And it's like getting your feet wet. And I've been dragging my feet because it's just hard to get started again. I was doing so many videos there, and when you stop, it's just really, really hard to get started again. So I'm going to be starting to make videos again. Let me know in the comments. I've got lots more exciting ones, but I do have to work a couple more weeks over there, and I think in a couple weeks, I'll be done, and then I can start making videos over there. So it might be about 3 or 4 weeks, but lots of flooring. It's going to be, these robot vacuum cleaners are absolutely game changing. I missed going to CES. I really wanted to go this year. We had a lot of snow, so my flight probably would have got canceled anyway, but I wish I'd have went. I'm going to go next year. I might be going to there's a Germany one in August or September. I think I might go to that one. But I really should have been at CES. But that building was just taking too much. So I really had to really concentrate on that building. I will be showing him some tours and that. So, man, that's going to be fun because I'm all in on these robot vacuum cleaners. I just want to thank everybody for all your help and how to test these. This has just been awesome. I really like these 3-month real world testing. I'm going to try to keep that up, bring these to my house. And it's got, this thing was upstairs and I was relying on it to clean my house. And man, when we had visitors come over, my wife and I were like, hey, get that thing clean in the kitchen, get it clean in that other room. And these are the future. Prices are coming down, capabilities are going up. I think building these into your house, and if you're building a new home, you're definitely going to make a little room for these, but there's also some ways that you can stack, somebody left in the comments, which I greatly appreciate. You can stack your washer and dryer up and then put one underneath your washer and use the same water and drain line. That's genius. So I got to look into that a little bit more. So you could put one of these in your laundry room just by raising your washing machine. Then you're not building a little room for it or anything. So anyway, lots of exciting things coming. I really do appreciate everybody's support. If you could please like and subscribe. Again, I use affiliate links. I did buy this with my own money. I'm buying 99% of the robots right now with my own money. And just that way I can give you my honest opinion. And these are kind of just real world testing. And I just like to talk about it. I have the hardest time quitting or stop ending a video. But anyway, let me know what you think in the description. I do recommend this Narwal Freo Z. It's expensive, but you're going to get the best. I was recommending it to people that mop. Best mopping. Looks like it does a pretty good vacuuming, but I actually got the Dyson back upstairs, and that thing's just nothing can vacuum like that Dyson robot vacuum cleaner. I got to empty it and all that, but check out my Instagram and my TikTok page. I do short videos on these. I got a bunch on the Narwal, so even though I wasn't making long form videos, I would be upstairs before I would go to work. And I would just grab my phone and oh, the Narwal's clean. Let me do a real quick video and show you how it's clean. And so check out my Instagram page and my Facebook group page and my TikTok page. I do really short videos, just kind of updates on how these things are doing. Again, if you could please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.